is willpower. And most of us as women don't want to use it. You must use that talent that we have. So it's about will. Then you must imbibe the philosophy that if you will do your best all the time. If you will not settle for less than your best, you'll be amazed at what you can do. What you can accomplish in life, you'll be amazed. Beyond, I'm telling you all these things, and it sounds like they're easy. They're not. Every single time I had gone through this process, it has been a painful process. And they say history repeats itself because people don't listen. So I give you this free advice because I'm home. I'm in Asaba. This is the capital of my home state. I like it here. But for those who are building careers in a man's world, because indeed it is a man's world, one of the things I'm going to say is that the first thing you do not become a banker because you saw Putu. She comes from Delta. She did banking, she rose to the top. I can be a banker. No. You think about what gives you pleasure, what gives you satisfaction. You know why? Because the going will get tough. And when the going gets tough, you will stay with what gives you satisfaction. You will stay with it because it's only in doing what you really like you can sparkle. You become a visionary. You become so good at what you do that people meet you. There's a certain respect, even if they don't like you, because they won't like you, but they will respect you, and that is more important than love. So, I say all of these things because a lot of people think, I will give you examples as we go along, but what I say all the time, a lot of the times we go there, we want to be women. No. You know Gail Evans in her book, play like a man, win like a woman. You must play like a man if you go to the men's terrain. You must learn how they do it. And I'll tell you a short story so that you understand how men play. Before I tell you the other tidbits. There was a man who wanted a job. There was a promotion. What they do in the more sophisticated companies is that when a job is coming up, when there's a vacancy, there's a promotion, they have, you bid for it. And there was a young man who knew that the woman that was competing against him head and shoulders above him. So he went to his mentor. And this is why, when the other guy was joking, next time don't laugh. He went to his mentor. He said, this is the reality that I face right now. And the mentor said, she's a woman. What you need to do is this. You can't get another woman who is not as good as her. But that you are better than to bid for that job. He said, then you will watch what will happen there. So, you know, when the story was gone, this also nearly happened to me, but this is a true story. They went there, and of course, you know what two women, when they get cat and mouse now, they started, the woman jabbed at this, she jabbed back, bam, bam. At the end of the day, they were so disruptive of each other, the guy got the job. So when they say women don't like each other, I want you to remember one thing, that as you go in the hierarchy, you must affirm other women. You must not be one of those. His Excellency said so. When you said you bring another candidate, sometimes even if it's the inferior one, they fight each other. Just like Plato said, when you see two wild animals fighting in the jungle, you don't go and separate them. You let them kill each other, then you walk past. That's what the men will do, because they will say, ab initio, women don't get along. And that clicks in your head. We do get along. The reason why we don't get along is what I told you. The men will trade you for a younger version, and therefore you're afraid of a woman all the time. But if you're complete in yourself, you don't need to care. Yeah? And so as he trades you for a younger version, hey, take a look at me. I'm saying that that's what we need to do. We need to have more confidence in ourselves. We don't have that confidence. We are afraid to come to the table. The average woman, when she goes to a meeting, she's sitting on the periphery. Even some junior person will tell her to go and get the coffee. Don't get up. Tell him to go get the coffee himself. That's one of the things you do. The other thing you need to remember as a woman working in a man's world is that you must learn everything about your field. You must understand, not just from the work perspective. Some of us go there just to go through the motion. You know that success and achievement is a little bit of talent, loads and loads and loads of preparation. Before I went to that meeting where my daughter did not want to go, he would have thrown me out of the office if I just came. I went into that office with options he didn't think about. I went in having talked to the engineers on the project, having talked to everyone. So you go with loads and loads of preparation. What will happen? Your boss will find you indispensable. The company, even if they don't like you, what they say behind your back, damn bitch, don't care. Okay. But if you prepare, you become more attractive. They know that you may be pinched by somebody. And don't be overly sensitive. Every time, don't be too shy. When they are talking, raise your hand. Speak. Most of us don't like to speak. We sit down and the men are talking. A lot of the times, we even have better ideas, but we don't want to say, you don't want to be seen as forward. Be forward. Be your own best PR person. Say that this is what I can't do. Go for the job. The other thing is that some of the times, the work situation itself, you will find that a job opening is coming. Say you are in Asaba here. The governor wants you to go to transfer you to Lagos to head the liaison. This is a promotion. But your husband is here. And you know lately you have seen him eyeing some chiquitos. So you are going to say, will I go or will I not go? Let me tell you, if you are afraid of that, you're going to lose him anyway. So you go. You go. You must determine there that you're going to go. A lot of the times, and this is for the younger women, it is very important that the person you marry, a lot of us don't pray because we say, okay, back. Most young women, when they go to university, are looking for husbands. They want to marry early because they think that if you don't marry in the first rush, most of the good men have been taken. So you'll be left on the shelf. And so you marry some swagger, some good-looking guy, fast-talking. You are in love with the idea of love, and you marry him. And by the time you've been married 1-2 years, you don't know why you did it. Some of us may be lucky, and the man is bigger. He has been raised by a great woman, and he will rise up to the plate. So for you to get married, you must find a man who has the same values as yourself, so that you're looking in the same direction with him. So that when you are going to make decisions later in the future, the decision will be easier. If he's a chauvinistic man, you walk if you want to be a career woman, because both of them won't go. You want to marry a man who understands, and therefore, when you marry that kind of man who is understanding of you, you must spend the same passion and time with him, quality time. You must never apologize. You must never be apologetic about taking time out to spend with your family and strengthening it. Because in spite of having a great career, when the chips are down, it is about family. Family, marriage, that is the best place to find emotional comfort and security. I say that the best thing that God created is marriage. Because when you have a good marriage, you wake up smiling. Every morning you wake up, you're smiling, you're happy. You see another woman, you are nice to her. But those who are, like he said, it's not the ugly, it's the bitchy woman who he's talking about. It's not the fine face. Because what I find is that after some time, the men get used to your face. No matter how pretty you are, they are not seeing it. So it's only the initial attraction. Men don't see a lot of these things that we take the trouble to do. I'm not speaking for you men, but I think I have a bit of experience. So what you want to do is spend time with that man who supports you. When the time comes for him to need the support, you must give away everything. Doesn't matter what your job entails. You must stop and stay with this man because he has been true to you. So that's what you are going to do. Although I think that there's usually lots of bumps on the way as we go along. The thing that you should also do, men are very good. The governor said